The chair will now call this meeting of the Republican National Committee to order. As we get started, the chair would like to call on Denidre Herbert, the state chair from Kansas, to deliver the invocation.
If you could all bow your heads. Lord, your word tells us that without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed. Lord, as we gather for this meeting, please help us to always look to your good word for counsel. We want to thank you for this time we get to spend together and for the great blessings of living in this great country. We want to give a special prayer of blessing and to our former chair, well, our soon-to-be former chair, Watley, as he embarks on a wonderful new journey. We pray that he seeks your counsel as he attempts to be one of the biggest leaders in our country. We also ask you to bless our soon-to-be chair, Joe Gruters. Please help his family adjust and guide them as they become the leaders of this great organization. We ask all of this in your name. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
I would now like to call Brian Miller, the state chair from Wyoming, to lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Brian. The following members have been designated to serve on the proxy committee: Mike Hurst, state chair of Mississippi; Mark Peake, state chair of Virginia; Karen Hardin, national committee woman for Oklahoma; Britta Horn, state chair for Colorado; Mary Jane Trumper, state chair for Nebraska; Brad Wyatt, national committee man for Massachusetts; Art Whittick, national committee man for Montana; Vicki Keene, national committee woman for Idaho; Kathy Salvi, state chair of Illinois; Robert Benvenuti, state chair for Kentucky; and Tracy Honnell, national committee woman from Oregon. Mike Hurst will serve as the chairman of the proxy committee, and I would like to ask those appointed members to convene on the side of the room with the council's office to review the submitted proxies. While the proxy committee is meeting, RNC Secretary Vicki Drummond will call the roll.
John Wall, Bill Harris, Carmela Warfield, Brian Hove, Cynthia Henry, Will Sword, Frank Barron, Amada Radawagan, Gina Swoboda, Jake Hoffman, Liz Harris, Joseph Wood, Eddie Arnold, Mindy McAlinden, Corin Rankin Palarin, Sean Steele, Brenna Horn, Randy Corcoran, Christy Fudura, Ben Proto, John Fry, Annalisa Stravato, Jean Truno, Hank McCann, Mary McCrossan, Patrick Morrow, Tim Costa, Joanne Young, Evan Power, Joe Gruters, Kathleen King, Josh McCoon, Jason Thompson, Amy Kramer, Sean Gumatau, Juan Carlos Benitez, Sam Sabini Young, Art Hanneman, Nolan Chang, Laura Nakanalua, Dorothy Moon, Brian Smith, Vicki Keene, Kathy Salvey, Dean White, Rhonda Belford, Lana Kiesling, Victor Smith, Ann Hathaway, Jeff Kaufman, Stephen Scheffler, Tamara Scott, Deetra Herbert, Mark Cars, Wendy Bengesser, Robert Benvenuti, John McCarthy, Casey Crosby, Derek Babcock, Roger Villery, Jim Diamond, David Whitney, Lauren LePage, Nicole Harris, David Bossy, Nicolette Ambrose, Amy Carnavale, Brad Wyatt, Janet Fogarty, Jim Runstead, Rob Steele, Hema Colin Reddy, Alex Blakash, A.K. Camara, Emily Novotny Chance, Mike Hurst, Leslie Davis, Peter Kinder, David Leitner, Marianne Mohammed Khani, Art Whittick, Tanner Smith, Debbie Churchill, Mary Jane Trumper, William Feely, Fajan Blythe, Michael McDonald, Jim DeGraffenreid, Jim McCurchin, Bill O'Brien, Mary Jane Beauregard, Glenn Paulson, Bill Palatucci, Janice Fields, Amy Barella, Jim Townsend, Tina Zook, Ed Cox, Joseph Cairo, Jennifer Rich, Jason Simmons, Ed Broyhill, Keisa Brashington, Matthew Simon, Steve Nagel, Laurie Hines, Raymond Tebuteb, Edward Leon Guerrero, Irene Ho, Alex Rihanna Filou, Jim Dickey, Jane Timken, Charity Lynch, Larry Murray, Karen Hardin, Connie Welchel, Dan Mason, Tracy Arnold, Greg Rothman, Andy Riley, Christine Torietti, Angel Chintron, Luis Ficino, Zori Faniatis, Joe Powers, Thomas Carroll, Susie Yenke, Drew McKissick, he's here, Tyson Grinstead, Cindy McCosta, Jim Eschenbaum, Reed Hullian, Eddie Englehart, Scott Golden, Oscar Brock, Beth Campbell, Abraham George, Robin Armstrong, Debbie Jorgadas, Brad Bonham, Kim Coleman, Paul Dane, Josh Benchhofer, Deb Bellato, John Yob, April Newland, Mark Peake, Morton Blackwell, Patty Lyman, Jim Welch, Matthew Patrick Thomas, Marlene Pfeiffer, Josh Holstein, Larry Peck, Beth Block, Brian Shimming, Terry Dietrich, Pam Travis. Brian Miller, Corey Steinmetz, and Nina Weber. Yes, sir? For who?
Jeff Kaufman.
Oh, Jeff Kaufman. All right, thank you. Who? You know what? You are at the top of the page, away from the others. That's why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes.
Robert Axon, Utah, here.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'll correct that. So, yes. I'm sorry. Who? Okay. Idaho. I have them. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And we do have a quorum.
Thank you, Vicki.
All right. Rhode Island.
And Vegas here too, if you could add that.
I will. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Vicki. Now I would like to call upon Chairman Mike Hurst for the report of the Proxy Committee.
Morning, Mr. Chairman. The Proxy Committee met and reviewed the 24 proxies that were submitted to the Secretary of the RNC. The Proxy Committee has determined that all 24 submitted proxies are in order. On behalf of the Proxy Committee, I conclude this report, and I move that the RNC accept the report of the Proxy Committee.
Without objection, the report of the Proxy Committee is accepted. Rule number 8A of the RNC rules requires that a meeting agenda be sent to all members at least 10 days prior to a meeting. You have been emailed a final agenda for the general session. Without objection, we will conduct today's business according to that agenda. Hearing no objection, it is so ordered. You have also been emailed a copy of the minutes from the general session of the RNC 2025 winter meeting in Washington, D.C., so they are not required to be read. If there are no corrections, the minutes will be approved. Hearing none, the minutes are approved. At this time, we have new members to ratify. I am pleased to announce the election of 5 new National Committee members. Tim Costa, National Committee Man for the District of Columbia. Tyson Grinstead, National Committee Man for South Carolina. Karen Hardin, National Committee Woman for Oklahoma. Arnie Haderman, National Committee Man for Mississippi. And Jim Hughes, National Committee Man for the Virgin Islands. It is stipulated in Rule number 4 that the election of the new National Committee men and Committee women to fill vacancies in the Republican National Committee shall be ratified by the Republican National Committee upon their election by the state Republican Party. Do I hear a motion to ratify the election of these new National Committee members? I hear a motion. Is there a second? I hear a second. It has been moved and seconded that we ratify the election of our new members. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed signify by saying no. The ayes have it, and I am pleased to officially welcome you all as members of the Republican National Committee. It is also my pleasure to welcome 21 new state chairmen to the Republican National Committee. Corinne Rankin-Pellerin of California, Britta Horn of Colorado, Jean Truano of Delaware, Art Hanneman of Hawaii, Lana Kiesling from Indiana, Denidre Herbert of Kansas, Jim Diamond of Maine, the Honorable Jim Runstead of Michigan, Alex Plekish of Minnesota, Peter Kinder of Missouri, Ramon Tebuteb of Northern Mariana Islands, Matthew Simon of North Dakota, Mary Jane Trumper of Nebraska, Jim McEachern of New Hampshire, Glenn Paulson of New Jersey, Connie Welchel of Oregon, Greg Rothman from Pennsylvania, Jim Eschenbaum of South Dakota, Mark Peak of Virginia, Josh Holstein of West Virginia, and Brian Miller of Wyoming. I congratulate each of you on your election and welcome you all as members of the Republican National Committee. The Western Region held an election at their regional breakfast this morning to elect a new member to the Executive Committee. I would like to welcome Carmela Warfield, the State Chair for Alaska, as the new member of the Executive Committee. At this time, it is my pleasure to invite our great co-chair, Casey Crosby from Kentucky, to give a report.
All right, guys, get excited this morning. Good morning. Thank you all so much. Before I get started, can we just give a big thank you to the Georgia delegation, Josh McCoon, Jason Thompson, and Amy Kremer, for their nice Southern hospitality. You know, being a Kentucky girl, I always love when you start the day with biscuits and gravy and grits. So thank you all so much for that hospitality. We appreciate you. Also, I just want to take a moment. I see lots of our staff sitting around the room, and you all please give a huge applause to every single one of our staff members who work so tirelessly and so hard to make sure that we pull off these meetings without a hitch. I know yesterday was an exciting day for all of us. We heard from Vice President Vance, and I was listening intently, and he made a comment about, I have the best job in the world. And I laughed to myself because I think a lot of you all have heard me say the same thing. I absolutely have the best job in the world. I get to go out and promote President Trump and the America First agenda and represent you all on the RNC. And while I don't want to one-up the Vice President, I can tell you that I do think I have the best job in the world. So. And I also have to say, it's not a job that I take lightly. I work my tail off because I know President Trump is the most important president of my lifetime. That's why I travel the country. I help state parties with your fundraising, with your party building. I participate in election integrity programs and voter registrations across the country. And I campaign for our Republican candidates. Vice President Vance mentioned yesterday, I know, I'm sorry, it was a little slip of the, it's early still. Vance told us that if we put in the work in, we will win. If we tell the truth about our message, we will win in 2026. And that is the goal. We need to make sure that President Trump is a 4-year president. Thank you. A few weeks ago, along with NFRW President Julie Harris, who was here earlier in the week, I think she left today, we launched a new women's initiative. Some of you all have heard about it. It's called Women Increasing in Numbers, or WIN, as I like to call it. And we are focusing on retaining, re-engaging, and training women across the country to register new voters, to work the polls and be poll watchers, to knock doors, to make calls, and to do whatever we can to get out the vote in 2025 for 2 very important gubernatorial races and in 2026 leading into the midterms. A few weeks ago, we launched and had our first training in New Jersey. I'm happy to say, with like 3 days' notice, we had 87 people turn out for election integrity training. This week, we're going to be back in New Jersey, and we're going to be doing trainings in Virginia. So I'm really excited. And if you are from New Jersey or Virginia, tell your people to come out because these are pretty awesome trainings by our staff. I've been blessed for the past few years to head up the member giving program with the RNC called the Eagle Club. We have several members who have reached their goals with Eagle Club, and I would like to go ahead and announce who they are. If you can do me a favor and stand, because you totally deserve to be recognized, but if you all could hold your applause to the end, I would appreciate it. The first is Sean Steele, the National Committee man from California. Hold your applause. I'm going to keep you in line, buddy. John McCarthy, the National Committee man from Kentucky. Janet Fogarty, the National Committee woman from Massachusetts. Ed Cox, the chair of New York. Jim Dickey, who is not here with us today, the National Committee man from Ohio. Larry Pack, the National Committee man from West Virginia. Terry Dietrich, the National Committee man from Wisconsin. Matthew Patrick Thomas, the National Committee man from Washington. And John Yob, the chair of the Virgin Islands. Please, you all, give these members a big round of applause. Michael mentioned earlier that we have a lot of new people, and I know some of you all may not be aware that we have a member giving raising program called the Eagle Club, but I intend to make sure that you know about it. And this week or later next week, I plan to hold maybe a Zoom meeting to go over the WIN program as well as Eagle Club for all the new members, so watch for information on that. I don't have much more to report to you all today because we have a lot of special things happening in a few minutes, but I do want to take a moment of personal privilege and just say thank you, Chairman Whatley. Thank you for everything that you have done for the Republican National Committee. Now I'm going to make you cry. I teased him last night. I said, my goal may be to make you cry. Maybe I'll get there this morning. But y'all, seriously, it has been truly just my honor to get to serve with Chairman Whatley for the past 7 months. Prior to him being elected chair, I served prior to my election as co-chair, I served as the treasurer of the RNC, so I've been part of his officer team since he was elected, and I can tell you all, he has completely transformed this organization. He, along with co-chair Trump, made everything about winning. They worked at getting out the vote and protecting the vote, and golly, what happened in 2024? We won, right? So he has been simply amazing, and I know my mom used to say when I was a little girl, she would say when I go stay at friend's house, now make sure, Casey, that you leave the room better than you found it. And Chairman Whatley, you have left us better than you found us. Thank you for all your service. And now let's go win a Senate race in North Carolina, right? I also want to recognize Jennifer Rich and Joe Gruters. I cannot wait to work with you all on this officer team. Jennifer, you've been a friend for a very long time. You are so capable and competent of being treasurer of the RNC, and I think you've got a couple of good people who went ahead of you. So we are here to support you. You are a business owner. You have institutional knowledge. You've been a long-term member of the Budget Committee, and you are going to do just a fantastic job. And you know that we are all here to help you however we can. You're going to kill it. And then to my friend Joe. So Joe, I just can't wait to be your partner. It's a hard job. I see your family in the back. I know you have your siblings here and your wife. I want to thank them for sharing you with us. It's a grind, just as Suzanne can tell you, Michael's wife. It is a lot of work, and I just cannot tell you how excited I am to work with you. I know probably over the past few days, you've probably been told you have big shoes to fill. Maybe a few times. I was told that when I took over for co-chair Trump. I'm sure you've been told that a few times. But Joe, I absolutely have the confidence and the faith that you're going to trailblaze your own path and lead us into victory in 2026. And I cannot wait to do it with you. So guys, let's get excited. Let's do this today. Let's go win in 2026. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Love you.
Thank you, Casey. So, I would like next to introduce for his first treasurer's report and his last treasurer's report, the National Committee man from Florida, Joe Gruters.
Thank you, Chairman. It is my first and my last report. It's kind of crazy when I was elected to this seat just at our last meeting, and it's but listen, it was super easy. It was because of Casey Crosby. If you remember, just 3 years ago, Casey curb stomped me for that seat in the race for treasurer. But you know what happened is what happens. We're all friends at the end of the day, and we ran a very friendly race against each other the entire time. And afterwards, we got together and we worked together. And when she had the ability to be the co-chair, she did a phenomenal job in that role. And Casey, I can't wait to work with you in this next role. But you are a superstar, and you are all class all the time. But listen, we're in great shape from a financial standpoint because of Michael Watley, because our chairman has been grinding and has been doing fundraising meeting after fundraising meeting. When the president called me and asked me to step up to the plate, they sent me the chairman's schedule, and I said, ooh, this is a lot of work, a lot of call hours, a lot of fundraising visits. But this guy's been a workhorse, and you are leaving the party in much better shape. We have $84 million cash on hand, and you've done an excellent job of raising the money and being a good steward of our funds, and making sure that I told some of the members here, I kind of liked when Chairman McDaniel had we went to the Ritz-Carlton, but he's been such a great steward. I said, we're going to go down and we're going to go to the Holiday Inn at the next meeting. You guys are going to love it. We're going to serve Wheaties and hot dogs for you. Just kidding. But you know who else is an unsung hero here, who's soon to be our ambassador to Sweden? Christina Toretti. You should stand as our budget committee chairman. Where is she? The ambassador and Casey Crosby made this job as treasurer so easy when I stepped in and took over this job. And along with our staff, Megan and team, listen, I'm an auditor by trade. You know that. I'm a CPA. So it's easy for me to look at reports, see what's going on. But when you tie everything to the penny, when you make the report so easy to understand, our RNC staff has done an amazing job, and Megan, you do a phenomenal job. The entire team has done an amazing job. But together, we're in great shape from a financial standpoint. We're in great shape from a stewardship standpoint, and I'm looking forward to giving some more remarks soon. But that is my treasurer's report, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I would now like to recognize Mark Kars, the National Committee man from Kansas and chair of the Resolutions Committee, for a report from the committee.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pursuant to Rule 10A2 of the Rules of the Republican Party, the Standing Committee on Resolutions met on Thursday to consider all the resolutions timely submitted to the committee. All RNC members were emailed copies of the resolutions prior to today's meeting. Mr. Chairman, we have 6 resolutions that were submitted to the committee, and the committee recommended 5 resolutions for adoption. Today they are resolution in loving memory of Mississippi Committeewoman Jeannie C. Lucky, resolution in honor of former Mississippi Republican Party Chairman Clark Reed, resolution in loving memory of Ohio House Speaker Joanne Davidson, resolution in memory of South Carolina National Committeeman Glenn McCall, and resolution in memory of Hawaii National Committeeman Gene Ward. And in the interest of time, I request that we omit the reading of these resolutions, but please join me in a moment of silence in memory of these former members. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Hearing no objection, it is so ordered. Now, without objection, we will consider all of the resolutions as a whole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and future North Carolina U.S. Senator. This concludes my report, and I now move that the 5 resolutions before the committee be adopted.
The motion has been made to adopt 5 resolutions. Is there a second? The motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no further discussion, we will move to a vote on the adoption of the resolutions. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. The ayes have it, and the 5 resolutions are adopted. Thank you, Mark. I would now like to recognize Christine Toretti, the National Committee Woman for Pennsylvania and Chairwoman of the Standing Committee on the Budget, for the purpose of giving the Budget Committee report. Christine?
Good morning, Chairman. The Budget Committee has met twice since we last came together. We had a fly-in on June 11, and we met this Wednesday on August 20. Our amended budget was adopted, and we will be meeting in December to prepare the budget for 26. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Please join me in welcoming Bill O'Brien, the National Committee Man from New Hampshire, as our new Rules Committee Chairman. And I now recognize Bill for the purpose of giving the report on the Standing Committee of Rules.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we organized the committee and we elected a chair, and I want to thank my colleagues for the confidence that they've shown in me, and I want to thank my good friend Jason Thompson for being the person who nominated me. His graciousness during this process was much appreciated. We took up 3 different matters, Mr. Chairman. We had a motion to amend the rules to prohibit any member of the committee from having 2 votes. There was a discussion on that, and as a consequence of that discussion, the motion was tabled. There was a motion to establish a working group to evaluate that issue, and that vote passed on a voice vote. A second matter was taken up. There was a motion to amend to make the temporary committee on election integrity into a permanent committee. Again, discussion on that motion, and it was resolved to be, again, a motion to set up a working group to evaluate some of the issues that came up. That likewise passed on a voice vote. And the final matter that was taken up was a motion to make permanent the audit committee. Again, discussion. Again, the thought was the best thing to do on that was to have a working group, and that became the decision of the committee. I committed to the committee that we will appoint those working groups in consultation with the chair and co-chair of the RNC. With that, our work concluded on the committee, and as does my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. I would now like to recognize Robin Armstrong, the National Committee Man from Texas and Chairman of the Temporary Committee on Faith Engagement, to deliver a report.
Thank you very much, Chairman. We met earlier this week, and we had a report on Catholicism. Actually, she talked to us about how we could engage those folks better, so we talked about that. We also had a presentation on how the laws have changed recently and how churches have more liberty at presenting and talking about candidates and endorsing candidates and such. So that was a great presentation by Leslie Davis. Thank you very much. And we also talked about our plans soon to begin getting engaged in New Jersey and also in Virginia in those gubernatorial races, and how we're going to be sending faith engagement folks out there to be engaged and active, and so we're very excited. So thank you very much, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Robin. I would now like to recognize Alex Triantafilou, the State Chairman of Ohio and Chairman of the Temporary Grassroots Advisory Committee, to deliver a report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Grassroots Advisory Committee, co-chaired by my friend and colleague Mindy McAlinden, met this week for a robust conversation on how to continue to grow our grassroots support. The meeting was so robust it went over a few minutes, but we're happy to continue that conversation. We began our efforts during my term and Mindy's term leading this group by having a grassroots webinar on fundraising. That was on July the 24th. We're going to continue these kind of outreach efforts to our grassroots. For those on the committee, you'll be hearing from us soon for our next Zoom meeting. Again, we had a great conversation on how to continue embracing the important grassroots energy that we know is on the ground. Thanks to President Trump, we will continue to do all of those things. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I would like to recognize Gina Swoboda, the State Chair for Arizona and Chair of the Temporary Grassroots Advisory Committee, to deliver a report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of my amazing co-chair, Jason Thompson, and myself, we had our first Temporary Committee on Elections Integrity meeting. Every one of our working groups reported. We have 4 working groups. That's election operations, legislation, voter registration, and technology. We have defined the scope of work for each of those working groups. They are hard at work meeting. We are fully engaged with the EI staff, a shout out to them, and we are very proud to follow in the footsteps that you have set on Protect the Vote. That ends our report.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair. So, welcome to Atlanta. I want to thank all of you for being here at our summer meeting. And before I jump into a few comments, I want to take a moment to follow up on the Resolutions Committee's work and honor the members of the 168 that we lost this year. From Mississippi, Jeannie Lucky and Clark Reed. From Ohio, Joanne Davidson. From Hawaii, Gene Ward. And from South Carolina, our dear friend, Glenn McCall. These were our friends and our colleagues, and they leave behind legacies of service to our great party. Our prayers are with their families and their loved ones as we celebrate the impact on all of our lives that they have had. I want to appreciate all of you for coming to Atlanta in the middle of the summer to work through the heat and watch a little baseball, and let you know how thankful I am for each and every one of you at the RNC as we work alongside the greatest president of our lifetime, President Donald J. Trump. Because of the incredible work of every member of the RNC, we had front row seats to the greatest political comeback in American history as President Trump was reelected, winning the popular vote, an electoral college landslide, and a mandate to make America great again. Here we are, 7 months into President Trump's second term. The economy is stronger, inflation is down, and our borders are secure. Our streets are safer, and other countries respect us again. President Trump seems to end a new war about every week. There is peace through strength, and America is back. President Trump and the Republicans in the House and the Senate are delivering on exactly what the American people voted for. This is why President Trump has received his historic electoral landslide. This is why we have Republican majorities in the House and the Senate, because Americans trust us to deliver. We can only continue this great work by keeping and expanding our majorities in the House and Senate. We must ensure that President Trump and his congressional Republicans has Republicans in his corner. We have a choice: 2 more years of a golden age or 2 more years of impeachment and radical Democratic schemes. We have targeted Democrats in districts all across this country, along with an extremely competitive Senate map this cycle. 13 Democrats sit in seats where President Trump delivered that district. 3 Republicans sit in seats that Kamala Harris has held. 16 seats are the center of the bullseye, and we know the Senate map. North Carolina is one of those crucial seats we must hold to maintain our majority, which brings us to this meeting today. After receiving a call from President Trump, I am proud to announce that I am stepping down from the RNC as chair and going back to the old North State. With President Trump's complete and total endorsement, I am running to be the next senator from the state of North Carolina. Thank you. I have made this decision to answer this call because President Trump deserves an ally and North Carolina deserves a strong conservative voice in the Senate. You know, it wasn't that long ago that we were all suffering from 11% inflation, record high prices because of Joe Biden and Democrats' failures. Under President Trump, gas prices are down, grocery prices are down, jobs are being created, and wages are up. Joe Biden and the Democrats said that we needed new laws to fix our border. Turns out, all we needed was a new president. President Trump and a Republican Congress have delivered the most transformative legislation in the history of the United States, the One Big Beautiful Bill. This critical legislation delivers the largest tax cut in American history and will increase take-home pay by over $13,000 per family. This bill is the definition of America First, and every single Democrat in Congress and the Senate voted against it. Every single Democrat voted to raise taxes. The One Big Beautiful Bill also permanently secures our border. Every single Democrat voted against border security. The One Big Beautiful Bill provides essential support for our men and women in uniform. Every single Democrat voted against supporting our men and women in uniform. The One Big Beautiful Bill delivers energy security and national security, and every single Democrat voted against it. The One Big Beautiful Bill and all its great accomplishments aren't just the Republican Party's agenda. They're not just President Trump's agenda. They are the American agenda. And it is clear to me that the Democrats have not learned a thing from their losses in 2024. They are doubling down on every single failed policy that they lost with last year's election cycles. They're running on higher taxes, open borders, and radical trans issues, and they continue to vote against America. That's why their registration numbers are plummeting while ours rise. The 2026 midterm election cycle, Americans are going to be choosing whether to return to the failed policies of Joe Biden or continue the great gains that we have made under President Trump's leadership and Republican majorities in the House and the Senate. It will be the job of the RNC to help President Trump elect Republicans up and down the ballot, expand our majorities, and enact an America First agenda. I am immensely proud of all that we have accomplished over the last year and a half. Being asked by President Trump to serve as the chairman of this great committee has been an incredible honor. Having worked with the president and his campaign, two phenomenal co-chairs in Laura Trump and Casey Crosby, and each and every one of you has been the most rewarding job I have ever had. I'm proud to be leaving the RNC in a stronger position than it was just 16 months ago because of the work that all of us have done together. So far this cycle, the RNC is already involved in over 90 election integrity-related lawsuits, fighting to protect the ballot and make sure that our elections are more secure. We are building our field, data, digital, and communications teams, which give us a winning edge. And the RNC is going into the second half of the year with over $80 million cash on hand, giving the president and his team the war chest that they will need heading into the midterm election cycles. And can we take a second, just a second, to honor and thank our fantastic finance chair, Vice President J.D. Vance, for the great work that he's been doing and being here yesterday. To accomplish our goal of expanding those majorities, President Trump has wholly endorsed Joe Gruters to serve as our next RNC chairman. Joe is a true conservative fighter, and he's been a steadfast ally of President Trump's since day one. During his time as the chair of the Republican Party of Florida, Joe was successful in getting out the vote and protecting the ballot. He led the transformation of Florida from a purple state to a red state, where they had a deficit of 400,000 voters to a 1.3 million voter Republican advantage. While I was building our Get Out the Vote and election integrity programs in North Carolina, Joe Gruters was building the same thing down in Florida. Don't just take my word. take the president's word, he will not let you down. I'm also excited that President Trump has endorsed Jennifer Rich to be our new treasurer. Jennifer has served as the National Committee Woman of New York GOP and done a fantastic job serving on our Budget Committee. She has been a steadfast supporter of the president from the start and will be an absolutely fantastic treasurer. Jennifer, thank you. I know our party will be in great hands with this leadership team and our wonderful members of the 168. The thing that I have loved most about the RNC is the people. I have loved doing this work with you. I have a long list of thank yous, but with 168 members and over 100 staff, we could be here for a very long time. But I do want to thank our wonderful RNC officers, Casey Crosby, Vicki Drummond, and of course, Joe. Thank you to our wonderful Chief of Staff, Mike Ambrosini, and our incredibly talented senior staff. Thank you to Mallory Magoo and the member services team, Mandy Lester and her legal staff. What a great job you have done putting together this meeting. Thank you. I also want to thank Emily Mulcahy, my scheduler, and Mason Tilley. They are so wonderful that I'm taking with me on my next journey. Sorry, Joe. I also want to thank my partner in crime in North Carolina, Jason Simmons, who has been an ally since day one back in 2016. Jason and the state party in North Carolina are going to get pretty tired of me pretty quick, but I want to thank you for your leadership in the Old North State. Most importantly, I want to thank my wonderful wife, Suzanne. I think she's in the back somewhere. Yep. As well as my three amazing kids, Michael, George, and Mary Kate. I could not have done this without you. And finally, I want to thank President Trump. Truly, being asked by President Trump to serve as the chair of the RNC and work alongside him, his team, and all of you has been an incredible honor. I am so proud of all that we have accomplished. As we turn the page, the road ahead is going to be long and hard fought. But we have an amazing team. We have great members of this committee. We have a strong movement. And we have the best president leading the charge to make America great again. It has been an incredible honor. Thank you all, and God bless the RNC. Thanks, man. Love you guys. And with that, we have some business to attend to. I would ask for unanimous consent that the committee accept my resignation as RNC chairman effective upon the election of my successor. Pursuant to rule number 4C, vacancies in the office of chairman shall be filled by the Republican National Committee in the same manner in which the chairman was elected in the first place. RNC officer elections are governed by rule number 5C, which reads in relevant part, all officers, except the vice chair, shall be nominated from the floor and shall have at least the majority vote of the Republican National Committee members in each of 3 states in order to have their names placed into nomination. Only one candidate provided the necessary documentation of support from at least 2 members from 3 states for the office of chairman. A candidate's nominating and seconding speeches will be allotted 5 minutes total. The RNC Council's office will keep time, signaling with a yellow card when 30 seconds remain and a red card when time has expired. Nominating speeches will be made from the podium, and seconding speeches may be made from the microphones on the floor. Only the members recognized for nominating and seconding the candidates will be allowed to speak. Following the close of nominations, a voice vote will be conducted. After the election, the elected officer will have the opportunity to address the body. These are the procedures we have followed in the past for officer elections, and without objection, these are the procedures we will follow again today. Hearing no objections, it is so ordered. Joe Gruters, the National Committee man from Florida, is the only candidate for chairman who has demonstrated the required support for nomination. The chair recognizes Scott Golden, the state chairman from Tennessee, for the purpose of nominating Mr. Gruters for RNC chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Whatley. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the yard signs that you put in my car and the directions to Western North Carolina on the way home. Whatley for Senate, WhatleyForSenate.com. He failed to mention that. It is an exciting period in the RNC. I'm so happy for him. And when I got the news that Joe Gruters was going to be the next chairman, I have been beaming. We are blessed to have a leader that is willing to do this, and it is my honor to get to make a quick speech. Mandy, I'm watching. But there's a lot there, and the excitement is over the moon. But I want to tell you a little bit about the Joe Gruters that we're getting, because that's the questions that I get asked is, tell me about Joe. What's he done? And when you start looking at his resume, you will see 20 years worth of political involvement at every single level that we ourselves have been at. A volunteer, a staffer, a local party chairman, the vice chairman of the Florida Republican Party, the chairman of the Florida Republican Party, a state representative, a state senator, ultimately our treasurer, RNC committee man. He has been in every one of the positions that you and I currently serve. He is immensely qualified for the task that he has undertaken. And more importantly, he is a dear friend, and I could not be more happy for him. Actually, truth be told, I'm really happy that his golf game is going to suffer with this appointment, by the way. So what's in it for me is the way it goes. So let me just finish up by saying this, and I know we're going to be quick, that he is President Trump's choice for this position. He has been our choice already, and he is the best choice to lead this party to victory in 2026. I am honored to nominate Joe Gruters of Florida as the next RNC chairman.
The chair will now recognize David Bossie, the National Committee man from Maryland, and Kathleen King, the National Committee woman from Florida, for the purposes of seconding the nomination.
Thank you, Michael. Good luck in your next endeavor.
Thank you.
We all know you're going to crush it. It is my honor today to rise to second the nomination of a man who has been with President Trump and with the Make America Great Again movement from the very beginning, my good friend, Joe Gruters. Joe and I have both been in the trenches alongside President Trump since 2015, fighting to expose the Washington establishment, battling the radical left, and helping build the greatest political movement this country has ever seen. From the first rallies to the final get out the vote efforts, Joe has always shown up, not for personal gain, but for the cause of America first. During the 2016 campaign, when many doubted us, Joe stepped forward as one of President Trump's earliest supporters, serving as Florida's co-chair, alongside my good friend, the great Susie Wiles, and helping deliver a decisive victory in the Sunshine State. In 2020, he did it again, building the infrastructure, turning out the vote, and helping Florida become a fortress for President Trump. And in 2024, under Joe's incredible leadership, Florida delivered margins so strong they shocked the political class and the mainstream media. As chairman of the Republican Party of Florida, Joe proved what bold, disciplined leadership can accomplish. He expanded our grassroots army, flipped voter registration, and delivered an unbroken string of victories up and down the ballot. That is no accident. That is Joe Gruder's steady hand and strategic vision. My fellow members, the stakes could not be higher. We need a chairman who is battle-tested, trusted by the president, and proven in the field. That man is Joe Gruters. It is my privilege to second the nomination of Joe Gruters for chairman of the Republican National Committee. Thank you.
Good morning. I proudly rise to third the nomination of my friend and colleague, Joe Gruters, for RNC chair. I've had the privilege of serving alongside Joe for the last couple of decades at the local, state, and national level. Joe and I served side by side, holding a congressional district at a time, as you heard, when Florida wasn't red like it is today. We've moved up in the state party leadership and the national leadership structure together. It was under Joe's leadership as chairman of the Republican Party of Florida that we doubled the margin of victory to deliver Florida for President Trump in 2020. We flipped the voter registration advantage to Republican for the first time in modern history in Florida in 2020-21. This positioned us to re-elect Governor Ron DeSantis with historic margins in 2022, and we took back a Florida cabinet seat. We elected a supermajority of the Florida House and Senate. We flipped 4 congressional seats, which led Republicans to regain control of the U.S. House in 2020-23. And it was over these years that I got to know Joe. Joe is a reliable, relentless, fearless, unafraid, political junkie, ton of fun guy who will always show up when he says he will, and he doesn't play it safe, kind of like someone else we know. Joe's philosophy is to never be outworked. His political life actually began when he was about the age of 13, when his mom would drive him to swim practice with the voice of Rush Limbaugh booming over the radio. Later in 9th grade, he scored bonus points for world history class for going to a Vice President Dan Quayle event, and that's when he really got hooked. Joe's a family man. He's a man of faith. He knows what's important. He grew up one of 6 children and has a twin sister. And actually, the sister brigade, where are the Gruder girls? They're here, Kelly, Jackie, and Sally. They showed up last night to support Joe. His brothers Tim and Steve are with him in spirit. His wife Sydney's also here with us today. Where are you, Sydney? They have 3 children together. Joe and Sydney actually met working on a congressional campaign. At one point, Joe asked for a pay raise. They promptly said, "No, Joe, it's not in the budget." And he said, "Well, instead, could I have this desk next to Sydney?" Joe got the desk, obviously. As you heard Chairman Whatley say so eloquently yesterday and today, Joe is President Trump's pick to lead the RNC. He's the right man at the right time to help every state replicate the success we've had in Florida. As Joe goes forward to lead our organization, he will need our support and prayers. So I'm going to start now, and I want to bestow an Irish blessing upon Joe. In homage to your dad, who flew B-52 bombers in Vietnam, may the strength of God pilot you. In honor of your mom, who's watching and loving you from heaven, may the angels surround you. May the wisdom of God instruct you. May the hand of God protect you. May the word of God direct you. And may God give you the strength to face every day and know you never walk alone. Go get him, Joe.
The nomination of Joe Gruters for chairman of the Republican National Committee has been moved and seconded. Since there are no other candidates who qualify under Rule 5C, nominations are now closed. We will now move to a vote. The question is on the election of Joe Gruters as the chairman of the Republican National Committee. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, please say no. The ayes have it, and Joe Gruters is elected as the chairman of the Republican National Committee. Mr. Chairman, congratulations. The podium is yours.
Thank you all so much. Now the party's in great hands moving forward. The skies are clear. No, I love the chairman. Thank you. What an incredible honor. First and foremost, I want to thank my fellow members of the Republican National Committee, all of you, and I hope you enjoy the jackets on your seats. There are 9 of you. Yes. There are personalized. There are 9 of you who don't have jackets because I didn't make the communication in time, but I'm going to get you jackets in time. You just have to send me your sizes. But hopefully you'll wear those on a consistent basis back in your home states as a signal of unity, as a signal of leadership. The countless hours that you dedicate and the sacrifices you make and the commitment that you show to advancing our cause in every state and every community, you are the engine of our party. The chairman, Michael Whatley, again, we have giant shoes to fill. He's done such an incredible job as chairman. It's going to be hard to keep the pace that he has set. $84 million cash on hand, and to think about it right now, the Democrats have $15 million cash on hand. That doesn't mean that we're going to be able to rest or to slow down, because we're going to have to continue to move as fast as we can. And Chairman Whatley was called, when he was called by the president to serve as the next U.S. Senator of North Carolina, which he will win. All of us are going to make sure that he wins, and make sure you go to WhatleyForSenate.com and to support him and to help him. He has been an incredible chairman, and I just want to say thank you for his leadership again and everything you've done for the party, and Godspeed for you in your efforts to be the next U.S. Senator from North Carolina. Let's give him a round of applause. And to our outstanding Vice President, J.D. Vance, and our co-chair, Casey Crosby, and the entire RNC team, your leadership will help us build the strongest, most energized Republican National Committee in history. And again, Casey Crosby is all class, right? Here we are serving together, and I tell everybody I hope to have as good of a relationship that you had with the chairman moving forward with you. She is everywhere. Just like Michael Whatley was everywhere, Casey Crosby has taken this job very seriously. She has been everywhere, and she deserves a round of applause for everything that she's done for our party. And of course, none of us would be here without the vision and courage of President Donald J. Trump. His movement reshaped American politics and brought millions of working men and women into our party. Mr. President, thank you for the faith in me and for everything you do to fight for America's future. Today is not about one person, it is about our mission. The midterms are ahead, where we must expand our majority in the House and the Senate and continue electing Republicans nationwide. And then we march forward towards the presidential election, where the stakes cannot be higher. The Democrats want open borders, socialist policies, and weak leadership. We want strong families, secure communities, and American greatness. That's why we must unite, innovate, and work harder than ever before. And I always say, and all of you guys deal with this there's so many factions of the Republican Party. I'm sure you've seen online, Joe Gruters is not as good of a conservative, we could do better. But here's the deal. At the end of the day, whatever party does a better job of uniting the factions and bringing everybody together, we all win at the end. But everything moving forward begins with election integrity. Every legal vote must be counted, every ballot protected, and Republicans must be ready to win before, during, and after Election Day. That also means registering new voters, turning out Republicans in every precinct, and investing in the technology and ground game to win, not just in red states, but everywhere. Every vote matters. And through it all, we will stay true to our principles: faith, family, freedom, and opportunity. These are not just Republican values, they are American values. Together, we will expand our Republican majority and deliver sweeping victories that will shape America for generations to come. So let's get to work, let's win, and let's save America. Thank you, and God bless to every single one of you. Thank you. I'm surprised I was able to get through that without crying. I would like to thank my wife back there. Great job. We're going to win. We will now proceed to elect. Oh, before that, I have to resign as treasurer. And I would ask for unanimous consent from the committee to accept my resignation as treasurer. Thank you. Jennifer Rich is going to be much better. We will now proceed to elect a new treasurer. The chair recognizes Ed Cox, state chairman from New York, for the purpose of nominating a candidate for RNC treasurer, followed by Drew McKissick, chairman of South Carolina, for a seconding speech. Chairman Cox.
During her tenure, let me get started. It is my honor to nominate for treasurer of the Republican National Committee, New York Party's National Committeewoman, Jennifer Saul Rich. Jennifer has served as a member of the Republican National Committee since 2004, and she has earned the respect and trust of her RNC colleagues over her more than 20 years of service to the RNC. As a past member of the Resolutions Committee and of the Rules Committee, and as a present member of the Budget Committee, Jennifer knows the RNC inside and out, and of course, its budget. Her long record of RNC service is defined by professionalism, integrity, and getting results. Above all, she understands the responsibility that comes with managing our party's resources. Jennifer's commitment to our Republican cause runs deep. It is rooted in a family that has long championed our values and has invested in our success. She will bring to the role of treasurer a strong sense of duty. As a leader in both the education and nonprofit sectors, she has managed complex budgets and built consensus among diverse stakeholders. Her tenure as chair of the New York County Republican Committee, she learned the care and feeding of our all-important grassroots. Her leadership in countless fundraising events ingrained in her that party funds are hard-earned. Her participation in our strategic initiatives taught her that RNC funds must be used wisely and intelligently with an unwavering focus on victory. From her hard-earned experience, she has developed the very qualities needed in a treasurer: integrity, discipline, and transparency. Jennifer's proven record of fiscal stewardship make her the right person to safeguard the resources that fuel our candidates and their fight for our values, which, as the chairman just said, are not just our values, but they are American values. The Republican National Committee needs a treasurer who is steady, trusted, and committed to our shared mission. That person is Jennifer Saul Rich.
Now we recognize Drew McKissick for the second.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, Mr. Chairman, I'm honored to come here today and second the nomination of Jennifer Rich for treasurer. As a proud member of the Southern region, this is a little bittersweet because I think we're going to lose our stranglehold on all the elected offices of the party. But I will say this, though, as chairman of South Carolina, I can point out, I believe our state is the home of the most former members of the RNC who've retired down our way. And I'm hopeful of Jennifer, though, because she's recently sent her daughter down to live in South Carolina, so I think she's doing recon work for Jennifer for a later date, but that's fine. But, you know, I'm real proud, though, and happy to see somebody who has the depth of experience that she does to be elevated to these roles. I mean, we all know we work in positions like this in our own state. We're always looking for people who have done the work, who have a proven record to elevate the positions of responsibility. And she's got that. She's done that. I mean, she's done the work down in the trenches. She's a top 10 member of this committee in terms of seniority. And that's not because she doesn't know what she's doing, obviously. She's got the experience. She's got the institutional knowledge. That's important. She brings that to the table. She spent the time in the vineyards doing the work, and I appreciate that. I've said all the time that there are three things that our party focuses on, that we need to stay focused on just relentlessly in order to be successful. And one is communicating a message that resonates with people. Two is building the organization that we need to turn out the vote. Three, then, is raising the money to do number one and number two. And part and parcel of that is then managing the money. And Jennifer has the experience to do that. She knows how important that is. And I couldn't be prouder to nominate her, second the nomination for treasurer. Y'all join me in supporting and voting for Jennifer for treasurer. Thank you very much.
Jennifer Rich has been nominated, and because there are no other nominations that qualify under Rule number 5C, nominations are now closed. The question is on the election of Jennifer Rich as treasurer of the Republican National Committee. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those that are opposed say no. The ayes have it. Jennifer Rich is elected treasurer of the Republican National Committee. Jennifer, congratulations, and come up and say a few words.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Got to put the glasses on, getting older by the day, not when I started here 20 years ago. Thank you, Chairman Cox, Chairman McKissick, and my fellow party leaders for your trust in me. I'm honored to serve as treasurer of the RNC. I also want to congratulate my predecessor and our new chairman, Joe Gruters, whose leadership has been invaluable. Having served on the Budget Committee under Christine Toretti, I'm aware of the importance of accountability and sound stewardship. As treasurer, I will uphold the highest standards of accuracy, transparency, and integrity. I look forward to working closely with our CFO, Megan Thompson, who runs a strong and compliant operation to ensure our finances remain exemplary, maintaining this standard as we support our new chairman, Joe Gruters, and President Trump. Thank you again for your confidence. I look forward to the work ahead together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer. Now, is there any new business for consideration? Okay, that concludes our committee business today. I want to thank you all for everything that you do for our party and our country. Remember, this is the President's party. We're going to do everything humanly possible to help him advance his agenda and make sure that he's successful so he has a full 4-year term. I will now entertain a motion that the general session of the 2025 summer meeting of the Republican National Committee be adjourned. We have a motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Congratulations to everybody.